5 key things to know before buying land in Johnson City. Hey folks, Ryan here. Today we're talking land, specifically what to look out for when you're thinking about buying a piece of property around here. Whether it's your first time or maybe you're adding to your portfolio, here are 5 big things to keep in mind. Point number 1, road access and flag lots. So let's start with road access. For example, you might come across what we call a flag lot. That's a piece of land that has a narrow strip of road frontage heading back to a larger area, sort of like on a flagpole, sort of like the one I just walked up here, where then there's a little strip right there, 53 feet. And it's important to know what that means for your access and really how you can develop the land from there. Point number 2 is sewer versus septic. Next up, let's talk about utilities. Depending on where you are, you might be looking at city sewer or you might need a private septic system. If it's a septic, you're going to want to line up what we call a soil scientist to make sure that the land is suitable for the septic system that you're looking to install. In Tennessee, we usually talk to the soil scientist first before we get into the permits with TDEC and everything like that. Point number 3, zoning and land use regulations. Another big one is zoning. You'll want to know how the land is zoned and what you can actually build out there, because some parcels have restrictions or specific land uses, so always check local zoning laws. For instance, right now we were looking at a piece of land over by ETSU, houses up and down that street. However, it's zoned B4. When you talk to the city, they say, yep, we get it. All those residences are grandfathered into the property, into the zoning, but anybody that builds a new property right here needs to conform to the B4, which is more of a business zoning. So it's kind of crazy. So if we had not known that, if we had not done our due diligence, our client purchases that property expecting to be able to build a piece of a house on that property. All of a sudden, we've got big issues and we've invested a number of dollars without having any return on investment unless he wants to build something for business. Point number 4 is access to utilities and infrastructure. You know, you got to think about utilities and infrastructure because part of the cost is how easy it is to get water, electricity, internet, all the good stuff onto the land. If the land is more rural, you might need to factor in the cost of bringing those services in. For instance, the land I just walked, if you're wanting to build up there on the top of that hill, first of all, you're gonna have to put in a double basement. But secondly, getting utilities up there as opposed to up here where these houses are, which are right along the road, is going to be a lot more expensive if you're up there on the hill. Point number 5, and the last point, is topography and environmental factors. You got to pay attention to the lay of the land, literally the topography, because any slopes, water features, floodplains, environmental factors can all influence where you can build and how much prep work you'll need. So in closing, there you have it. There's the 5 key things to consider when you're scoping out land. Keep these in mind and you'll be set up for success. Thanks for watching. If you got more questions about buying land in Johnson City or beyond, just reach out, shoot us a message.